Titans. Keep this train rolling. Jonathan Knight, the sports writer extraordinaire. He's joining me next as we kick this bad boy off in end-of-the-week edition of the Sports Fix. Jeff Gorman from Browns101.com. Ryan Ruiz of Dog Pound Nation. Your takes and so much more coming up next here on the Sports Fix. Jonathan Knight, though, he's coming up next.
Shake it, yeah, yeah. Show 'em how we do it now.
When it comes to Cleveland sports, we go from
you can't touch this
to
I can't watch this.
So listen to The Fix. It's easier on the eyes.
Hey guys, before we go to the break, I want to talk to you a little bit again about our good friends at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championships, some of the hottest fights in the world today. Each and every one of their huge events, Harry Buffalo is one of the few places in Northeast Ohio you can go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Harry Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks, and every day of the week there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Harry Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry the King Lawler from WWE, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
The Sports Fix is on iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeart app today. Subscribe to the show and get your fix.
You love Cleveland, and you already know how much we love Cleveland. You know who else loves Cleveland? GV Art and Design. Everyday fans, you and I wear our pride on our sleeves. Now, you can wear your pride on your chest. GV Art and Design has one of the hottest Cleveland sporting lines. Log on right now to gvartwork.com. Check out all of their fantastic designs.
And don't forget, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10, to save 10% on your total purchase.
Follow gvartwork.com on Facebook, and remember, GV Art and Design, it's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. Yeah, I went there. That's right. You don't understand. My next guest, he's a maniac. You've never even seen him on the dance floor. Maniac. My man, Jonathan Knight, coming up next. Hey, guys, welcome back in. J-Rock with you here as we roll on. Phone lines are not open, probably for the next hour or so, but we will hit them up at the end of the show. For now, keep the conversation rolling on Facebook, facebook.com/The Sports Fix, or just search for The Sports Fix. If there's more than just me out there, let me know. We'll shut them down together. Hit us up on Twitter. Tweet with me at The Sports Fix, CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Keep it rolling on. Jump over on the Mixler. Jump in the chat room there. We're going to go to the phones on the hotline. Jonathan Knight, the sports writer extraordinaire, as I say. He's with us each and every Friday here. And I'm going to start where we were going right before we went to the break. I'm going to see if he, on top of being a maniac, I'm going to see if he is also starting to get sucked in a little bit by that Kansas City team over there. Let's go to the phones. Hotline, Jonathan Knight. JK, how you doing today, my man?
I'm good. I was wondering how you were going to tie in the Maniac with my appearance. So that's good.
Right. You're a maniac.
I've always wanted a theme song, and you cannot go wrong with the mid-'80s pulse of Maniac. Yeah.
That's right, man.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, man. Okay, seriously, speaking of pulse, let me take your pulse on this, because I said it earlier in the week that I was going to be curmudgeonly. I wasn't going to get with Kansas City. I'm on the side of whoever is going to knock off the Tigers. And other than that, let's see who else is out there that's not like a $1 billion franchise. Maybe I'll kind of root for them. But Kansas City, it was still a little bit fresh at the end of the season. But, man, those first two games, the way they came back to beat Oakland, and then last night doing it again, I'm like, man, they're going to pull me. They're going to suck me in here. I may have to start rooting for the Royals here just because it's definitely better than some of the alternatives.
Yeah, to be honest, they sucked me in June. I mean, they had.
Well, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I was, and we talked about it a little bit as this thing went down the stretch, and mentioned that, you know, if the Indians can't do it, I want the Royals to do it. If somebody's going to beat the Tigers and it can't beat us, let it be them. If the Indians can't make the playoffs, let Kansas City do it. And that's what we even talked about, that suspended game that they came back, and that what turned out to be a sweep back in August in Kansas City, or I guess it was Labor Day. And then they went on and really spit the bit against Detroit right after that. We talked about, don't spoil this for Kansas City. This is the best story in baseball right now. Don't knock them out of the playoffs if you're not going to go yourself. And they did not do that. Kansas City hung tough. I mean, hats off to them. They had any number of chances to fold down the stretch. They did not. They went eyeball to eyeball with us and turned out to be stronger and really gave Detroit a good run for their money. And then you're absolutely right. These first two games, the thing that really pisses me off, the only thing that I'm upset about, is I've missed both of these because they have toiled so late into the night. I've been where I tend to be during great moments in baseball history, which is unconscious. I am not even watching these games, and I'm asleep on the couch. So, yeah, that's my only regret. But totally, yes, I am totally on board. They are my team. I'm rooting for them. I am really overall excited about this postseason. There's no Yankees. There's no real monster to root against. The Dodgers, whatever. And I get people. There are people who don't like the Cardinals. A lot of Tribe fans don't like the Tigers. And there's teams in there that are, the Giants is another one that have had success, a lot of success, repeated success in the last few years, and we're kind of tired of them. But I don't know that I dislike any of them, really. So there's really not a scenario that I would really despise, like the Yankees winning or, the Red Sox going back, whatever it may be. So, yeah, but Kansas City's right there. There are a lot of good scenarios, but Kansas City is my top choice. I love Baltimore. I love what Baltimore did to Detroit yesterday. That was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just getting started now. I love the idea of a Beltway World Series with the Orioles and the Nationals. I think that would be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of real good potential there. This is, and starting with that Kansas City game, a really fun postseason gets off to an amazing start.
Yeah, absolutely. Verlander going for the Tigers today. I disagree with you on Detroit. That is, if you said, listen, that's the one look, they can't win this thing. That would just completely spoil the
here's the thing,
postseason.
And I respect that, and I will respect anyone who they're an Indians rival, and I get that. Here's the only thing, though. They're not exactly like the Steelers, right? They're not that big of a rivalry because it comes and goes. This is not something that we've hated the Tigers for 100 years.
True.
And the other thing is Cleveland and Detroit, similar to Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but I think even more so with Detroit, that there's such a connection there. There's such a almost brotherly type of connection that rivalry is built on, not just in baseball, but Browns Lions and Cavs Pistons, and even a little bit more probably than the Browns. But there's such a sense of, they're just like us. They're this shadowy reflection of us. And there's that initial, I don't want to see them win because it should be us, that they're taking our thunder. That should be us up there being crowned. But at the same time, it's essentially the same type of fan base, the same type of people. The Tigers haven't won a World Series in longer than the Royals have, believe it or not. So they've waited even longer. I mean, and I can live with that. It would not be, like I said, it would not be the ideal situation, but I will take that over the Yankees winning 27 any day of the week.
Absolutely. Now, I hear you on I guess if I had to choose between the Tigers and the Yankees, okay, there. But
or even the Dodgers. The Dodgers, now, I know it's been a long time as well, but it's freaking L.A. And the Angels kind of piggyback on that as well. I'm tired of big market success. Yes. I'm really sick of it. And while the Dodgers and Angels aren't up there like Yankees and Red Sox, I really don't care to see that. And, that's why I can live with the Giants. I can live with St. Louis, even though they've been there repeatedly in the last few years. They are, I think, closer to the Indians than any of those other big market teams are. So I think that there's a little bit of projection here. Which team in the playoffs most resembles the Indians and the small market frustration that
Kansas
we're
City.
used to seeing, and then you pick your horse and go with it.
I was joking before you came on the air. I said, this is the inequity of baseball. I said, the two Davids had to fight each other. See, this is not the way it happened in the history books. David did not have to fight David for the right to fight Goliath. And then
it wasn't a play-in game between the two
But here's
Davids.
the thing.
Right.
Here's the thing, JK. If Kansas City pulls the slingshot and they slay the A's, right? They don't get the hero's welcome. They turn around and Goliath is in front of them again, and they got to do the whole thing all over again, man. I said, something doesn't seem right. I've been joking about that. I said I thought that this playoff setup this year just kind of epitomized the inequity in baseball because, the three biggest budget teams in the American League are all sitting back waiting and watching the two little scrappy guys give everything that they've got just to get a seat at the table, and
unfortunately that's not the story that's coming out of it.
No.
The story that's coming out of it is look how great it is that these small market teams are there is balance. There is balance because look at what the Royals are doing. Yes, it took them 30 years to get here, and much of that was their own fault. I don't want to blame baseball entirely for their troubles because they made their own bed for many of those years. But let us not overlook the reality. This is why
favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix, CLE. Join the Sports Fix.
My name is Troy, and I used to concussions cost me my help with the American Academy of Neurology to ask all coaches, athletes, and parents to learn the signs of concussion and know when a player must leave the game. The American Academy of Neurology has new tools, including free online safety courses and coaches and players' cards to teach you the signs of concussion and what to do if an athlete gets a head injury during a game. If you suspect a player has a concussion, remove the athlete from play until the player is evaluated by someone trained in concussion, such as a neurologist. According to the American Academy of Neurology, coaches and parents need to take extreme care when returning young athletes who may have a concussion to the game too soon. Rushing this part of the process may lead to a serious setback or worsen the injury, and like me, end their career when it was just getting started.
Learn the signs of concussion now before this week's big game becomes your player's last. Learn more at AAN.com/concussion. That's AAN.com/concussion.
This is Greg Pruitt, formerly of the Cleveland Browns, and you're listening to The Sports Fix.
Welcome back. All right. I apologize. I've never had to do that before. Completely, this was a fluke. We lost all internet and satellite connections. Not only did it throw Jonathan Knight off the call, threw us off the air, threw everything off. So it's all fixed. It's back on. I don't know what it is. We've got terrible clouds circling around. Not really bad weather, but regardless, it threw us off the air. I deeply apologize for those of you. Hopefully you're still sticking with us. I've got Jonathan Knight back on the phone lines right now, so let's just jump back into where we were going, where Jonathan Knight was talking about the difference between the story that's being portrayed and what may really be happening with the Royals. JK, you back with me?
I'm back with you. I just assumed Bud Selig cut the line.
He said, you guys are going to stop talking about that. No, I'll tell you what, man. I was like, hey, Jonathan Knight's gone. And then I go, hey, everybody's gone. All right, let's get this. Gone. I mean, what happened? So anyways, a complete, luckily, the good thing is I have two, because of that problem, I have two internet feeds for the show dedicated so that I could go from one to the other, and that's what I had to do. So it got us right back on the air. And but so just pick back up where you were there, talking about Kansas City.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically just that we're being, as much as we want to get excited about Kansas City and are excited about Kansas City, I think that you're right when you say that that the story is being told that, well, Kansas City is